Test, test, test. All right, Charlotte, we're live on YouTube. Nobody's watching right now, but if somebody watches it afterwards, maybe they will be. It is Rob and Charlotte from Dowdle Family Farms, and we have spent the afternoon doing all kinds of stuff. But we wanted to show you for a few minutes what we have been doing with our pigs. We've moved our breeder pigs for the most part off of our cover crop fields. They're off in the woods back here. I'll turn the camera around in those woods over there. And we've got this group of feeder pigs in here now. And this is their first time on pasture. Hey, Megan Dowdle says, hey, I know Megan Dowdle. Do you, Charlotte? Anyway, Charlotte and I moved the last three of these little things in here today. Well, there are two more. But this is the field that they're in. They're still a little skittish of us right now. But I wanted to walk in for a moment and show you what cover crops we've got in there and what this pasture looks like that they are in. Let me see if I can get off this fence without getting shocked. So we have our sunflowers, sorghum, Sudan grass right there. Oh, there's a little bug on there. And they've already started eating and kind of gnawing on some of these things. There is some forage soybean right there, more of it right there. And of course, we got the sorghum Sudan grass. That is a phenomenal forage. How do you get over? Here, come over here and I'll give you a hand so you don't get shocked. But this is a, now you're going to get me shocked doing that. Uh, Here, crawl through right there, bro. Just don't touch the fence. So, what we've got in here, though, um, back to this. This is some cypress weed or dog fennel that we really don't want in here. We've got a little bit of cowpea right there. That's an iron and clay cowpea. This is chicory that is already bolting. It'll have some beautiful blue flowers before long. But there's still a lot of chicory that the pigs can eat that has not gone to seed. You can see they've been messing around a little bit of it right here, grazed a little bit off. But there's the chicory here, and then we've got oats and other stuff that has gone to seed. This is the oats right here, and that's gone to seed. It's way too hot for oats right now. So there should be, if we're counting correctly, 19 of these pigs in here. Just to give you, just a dude says free Palestine, okay? And Chloe says, hey, whoever that is. Um, and then just to give you, I'm going to turn the camera around just to give you a little bit of perspective of how tall this stuff is right now. I am 6'1" or so, and so a lot of this stuff is 4.5, 5 feet tall. It's over Charlotte's head. You can see her head down here. The shade that we use for the pigs are these, and you can see some of them. Let me see if I can zoom the camera in over there. They're walking over there. But it is so much cooler under these willow trees. These willow trees grew up naturally. This is the third year that we have not bush hogged them. And I'll tell you what, they are some of the best things that we left standing. They just offer a lot of shade for the pigs. Bigger pigs would actually root these up. But anyway, um, and then you can see some irrigation we've got going over there. Charlotte went swimming not once but twice in the pond that over there that we're irrigating from. That's why she's wet right now. So here's some of these piglets. We got the Berkshire piglets over here. It's a place in England, but that's where this breed was bred. Uh, okay, M45 Mark 45M. We are here, and glad you asked. We're glad you're here. Thanks for coming across the stream. We are here in North Mississippi in the Lowndes County, Columbus area, close to Starkville. So that's where we are over here, and having a blast. Oh, there's a sunflower blooming. But anyway, it's starting to cool off, and the weather's kind of nice now. It's an absolutely, it's an absolutely beautiful afternoon. Charlotte's trying to mow over the sorghum Sudan grass there, I guess. But these pigs, there are 21 of these pigs total. There are only 19 in here. We still have 2 more to try to catch and bring in. But all that to say, these 19 pigs, they're averaging 50 pounds. So even in this little paddock that they're in, probably a quarter of an acre, maybe half an acre, we'll see. But this quarter of an acre that they're in is going to be a bit, it's going to take them a while to get through this forage. There's one of the Mangalitsa Berkshire crosses. Yeah, Charlotte was pointing out that they tore that up, and they did. Uh, Part of that's eating, part of that's just rooting around because that's where they've been lying down under that willow tree there. But I'll tell you what, if I was a pig, I'd be in hog heaven right now. We're coming up on the edge of the fence where this paddock is. I guess I should have. Mike May, yes, we raise honeybees as well, Mike. I guess you've seen some of our other channel stuff. It's kind of funny. A buddy helped me move the first batch of these pigs in here yesterday evening, and we backed the livestock trailer in here, and before we got the livestock trailer out, we had 5 pigs that had just run straight through this wiring fence. It's just a temporary electric fencing. But yes, you can. But they've gotten kind of used to it now. Oh, there's the group of pigs. They're just chewing down. Man, one of them's kind of used to them eating the forage soybeans. In this paddock right here, the forage soybean, be still, Charlotte, you're going to scare them. They're a little skittish of us right now anyway. But um, the forage soybeans out here are one of the things that the pigs love grazing on the most in this paddock, that and the chicory. Um, Terry, um, what are your daily temperatures like? Right now, it may not even be 80 degrees at the moment, but we're getting into 95-degree temperatures. The humidity still is not particularly bad right now. In fact, it's quite pleasant at the moment. But in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll start having 95 to 100-degree days, and then we'll have all kinds of humidity that just make it absolutely miserable. Uh-oh, we have the buddy that helped me move these pigs out here is on his way out here. He's driving up. His name is Chris Woolley. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, Um, so let me check the other questions. Chloe says, Mark, yes, we sell whole and half hogs, but we also do retail cuts of individual cuts of pork. I've got some stuff to do on our inventory on our website, but if you go to dowdlefamilyfarms.com, that's Dowdle Family Farms with an S on the end.com. And if you sign up on our newsletter, you'll get an email at most once a week, but usually every 2 or 3 weeks on average, that just gives you a few updates on the farm, and we'll let everybody know when we update our inventory. Um, but we'll have individual cuts of bacon, pork chops. Man, the bacon is good. My favorite, almost better than the bacon now, is the smoked sausages. I didn't get enough of it, but we have a jalapeno and cheddar is good, but man, the jalapeno and pepper jack is absolutely phenomenal. Um, so anyway, new to the channel, what's the cost of maintenance on that half acre? Do you use any fertilizers? We do not use any fertilizers. We grow cover crops for our pigs and our cows to graze, and so we grow cover crops on these areas. The only fertility that we add is what the pigs are grazing, or what the cows graze, plus the cover crops that we grow. We don't use any synthetic chemicals, fertilizers, anything like that most of the time. In fact, this one was planted 45 days ago, maybe a little more, a little less, and there were no fertilizers used in that. Just the cost of the seed plant. Pigs will enjoy the cooler temperature than that forage provides, Terry Jean. Um, well, they'll graze, Terry. They do like cooler weathers to do much grazing in. But out here, they'll graze. That's why we've got the larger pigs. They're just a lot more difficult to cool down. They're in those woods right over there in the back. Um, these pigs are real small, and the shade that they get out of this of these willow trees here works really well. Do what? Yeah, it is. That is hot. Wooly, say hello to everybody on YouTube. You're live. If you didn't want to be here, you shouldn't have showed up. Wooly is the guy that helped me move these piglets, or most of these piglets out here last night. He was a big help. Um, the top wire may not be hot, Wooly. Um, so, but yes, the pigs do enjoy the cooler temperatures. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked. But that's why we've got the little pigs in here. Apparently that apparently that fence was hot. Was it, Wooly? It was a little warm. Okay. Anyway, well, I'll help you get across next time. So, all that to say, um, the shade from these 8 or so trees helps a whole lot. The pigs just hang out during the day, but in the mornings and the evenings, they're out here grazing a whole lot. Um, one more. Do you ship to Massachusetts? We can, Mark, ship to Massachusetts, um, and we'll be happy to do that. We typically only ship on Tuesdays until we get our inventory up. If you want something specific, just let me know. Send me an email through our website, and I'll follow up with you on that tonight or in the morning. Terry Jean, do they have access to the whole half acre at one time? So I didn't. I think they're in. I'm just guessing. I didn't step it off last night, but they're in roughly a third of an acre right now. Let me see if I can. So where that tree is, that willow right there is where the edge of this paddock is, and it just goes right there. So they're in a real small area, but this entire paddock goes all the way to the trees back there, and it gets much wider. I think it's 1.6 acres total. So what the pigs have access to right now is just this 1/3, 1/2, 1/4 acre that they're in right now. They have access to this entire paddock. Uh, but because because the shade is down here, then once they finish grazing this paddock here, I will move the fence line from, I'm at the edge of it right now, and we'll move it down a little bit more further and give them another strip of forage. But because the shade is still on this end, we'll kind of keep them over here. Now, once they get to that end, they'll have a little bit of shade, and we'll have um, a shade structure for them as well. But the trees offer a better shade, cooler shade than the shade structure provides. Mark, thank you, sir. Have a good day. I'll be checking out the channel and possibly inquiring about an order when I have more information for the party I want to throw together. Thank you for stopping in, Mark. We appreciate you coming and saying hello. Um, so, Terry, they do come on, this is technically called strip grazing. Um, and that's what they'll have kind of access to. We try to make sure that the pigs, um, with cows, we'll move them every day or two. Pigs just honestly don't work very well moving them every day. They just they're yeah, they don't do that. So we usually move them every 5 to 6 to 10 days, maybe 14. But what I found is if I give them a new fresh strip of forage every day and still give them access to the old paddocks over here, they tend to perform so much better. Kay Gandy, hey Kay, hope you're doing well. Just out of curiosity, okay, Mark's from Massachusetts. Where are the rest of y'all from? I'm just kind of curious. I'm always interested to see where people who are tuned in on the channel are from. Um, y'all let me know if you would. Uh, Mary blushes. Texas here. Oh, hello, Mary. Um, I don't recall seeing your water set up. And what about grain and fed? So we do provide a grain ration for our pigs. Most of the time, though, when they're in a paddock like this, these pigs will still receive probably the equivalent of 1.5 to 2 pounds of grain per day for the time being. But what I've found uh, is that when they're in a good, nutritious cover crop field like this, they'll forage up to 90% of their diet from these feeds. Now, the sorghum Sudan grass is in a pretty good state. They'll eat it. They're not going to do a whole lot with it. But especially the chicory down here, there's some clovers further down, and those forage soybeans, the pigs will tear that up. In terms of the water setup, we just have a simple gravity fed system. We've got a large tank there that feeds into this smaller tank right here. I use this smaller tank. It's got a float valve in there. Well, the float valve in this one's broken. That's a whole nother story um, that I've got to fix tomorrow morning. But um, we keep a strand of electricity running across the top of it. The pigs stick their head in here. They drink out of it. It's plenty good for them. And it keeps the water from getting muddy. Most importantly, it keeps them from most importantly, it keeps them from laying down in the water and muddying it up even more than it already gets dirty and breaking that float valve. The valve is right there. Usually you'd see a little yellow ball on top of it if it were working properly. So, K Will, Southeastern Ohio. Oh, goodness. Um, Mary blushes. Good. Glad y'all are here. Weston Severns. Did I pronounce that right? From Carabel, Florida. That's the Florida Panhandle. Yeah, there you go. Love your content. Glad you enjoy it. We're working on it. We'll see how that goes. Um, Will, I'm near Troy. Oh, Red Tool House. Oh yeah. Um, So they're cool enough in the woods. They don't need a wallow, but we try to give pigs wallows anyway. Um, it helps with a lot of things. One, just their instinctive behaviors, but most importantly, it does help them cool down a good bit. And even in the woods, when you have Ferdinand, our boar, we can walk over there if y'all want to see him. But Ferdinand, our boar, is pushing 700 pounds. The gilts that he's breeding are roughly, they're going to range from 325 to 400 pounds. A few of them are a tad smaller. But I say all that to say it just helps them cool down, helps with ticks and some other stuff if they have a wallow. It's dry, so I've been hauling water to them for them to have a wallow to cool off in. Yeah, the mud wallows keep the bugs off as well, Mary. That's one of the benefits. Um, one of the benefits of that. You need what, baby? Okay, well, there's bug spray in the on the rhino. You're gonna have to get across though without getting shocked. Um, but yeah, the mud helps keep the bugs off. Helps with ticks as well. They'll wallow in the mud, and when it dries, it kind of itches their skin, and they'll rub it against trees and that kind of stuff. And they'll go along there.
If I did that, would it peel my skin off?
Would it peel your skin off if you rubbed mud on you
No,
and rubbed against a tree?
No, rubbed against a tree.
It might. Kind of like scratching. Not always the best idea sometimes for people, baby. So, um, y'all got any more questions? Just kind of curious. I was just planning on showing everyone where the pigs are, what they're doing. This group of pigs was born on pasture, so I say that to say this is their first time on not on pasture but on a cover crop pasture. When they were born in late winter, they were in the woods. They did have they escaped a little bit. There's I don't know if the light worked good or not, but that was pretty cool. Um, so Mary says, Mary Blushes says she likes a good back scratch herself. Yeah, I think all of us do. Ferdinand, the problem with Ferdinand is he'll come up to you. It doesn't matter whether he's clean, whether he's dirty, he'll come up and start rubbing himself on you. And he's big enough to knock. He's big enough to knock me down. So, weren't they born in an ice storm? Some of these were born in an ice storm in January. The bigger ones are. There are only about 3 of those left, I think. But that was born. They were born in an ice storm in very early January, late January. I mean, early February, something like that. We had some wind and snow and that kind of stuff on the ground. I'll tell you what, the difference in temperature between right here and over here in the shade is remarkable. You can see that's I don't know which one that is. That's a chicory plant that's gone to seed, a stalk that they just knocked down and chewed up. I'm kind of surprised.
I'm surprised they can knock down that.
Um, they've knocked down a lot of this mulch. Most of this sorghum sudan grass, they're not going to eat. They'll chew on some of the leaves, and they'll eat some of the bugs. Oh, look at that spider on the back of the. That's not quite a spider. I don't know what that is. It's on the back of a sunflower leaf. There's all kinds of lady beetles. I haven't seen any lady beetles in this field yet. But a lot of this sorghum sudan grass, the roots are phenomenal for soil health. They add a lot of carbon and sugars, or carbon in the form of sugars and a few proteins, but mostly in the form of sugars that help feed soil life. And as the soil life feeds and grows and dies, it kind of rebuilds that soil down there. Leaf-footed bug. I'm almost positive you're right, Terry. Not that I doubt you. Um, but those are, ooh, look at that. We call them stink bugs, squash bugs. It's in that same family right there on that sunflower. Right there. See the black one, Charlotte?
Oh gosh, gracious.
But it seems like most of what we're seeing. Yeah, they knocked down one of the sunflowers too. What's the process for planting the cover crops? So this crop, I don't know why. Oh, there's a bee somewhere. Um, I'm not sure why I don't see much buckwheat. I think I may have run out of buckwheat seed when I planted this one. But historically I've used a disc and just a broadcast spreader, and then lightly covered the seed. But what I've this past year I purchased a small no-till drill from LMC Ag, and that's what I've used. Y'all see that black in the very center? I don't, some kind of, looks like a dragonfly of sorts, maybe. Can't get close enough to it yet. It's just amazing how much life is in these cover crops. And the wild turkeys come out here and eat a lot of the bugs out here in it. We had two clutches raised, two different hens raised a clutch each, and wound up between the two of them had 15 babies that they raised. Um, but back to the process for planting, I've been using a no-till drill. The problem with that no-till drill, it's a really great drill. The problem with it though is it's light and it just does not get the soil penetration in hard ground, and it doesn't cover the seed very well, which in softer soils is not a big deal. But I use a small 44 horsepower tractor to plant. So, um, but anyway, that's basically how we plant. Um, Got to be good for the soil, more nature, less rows. Yes, it is. I just love seeing how they knock this sorghum Sudan grass down. And the funny thing is in this paddock, this is the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. I planted in this paddock about a week before this time of the year last year. Now this one I planted in April, mid-April, but late April. I don't remember exactly raw off the top of my head. But this paddock I planted in early June last year. Sorghum Sudan grass and just the forage soybeans like you see right there. And the funny thing about it is I got three complete grazings and a fourth grazing off of this paddock, um, here and over there, a total of about an acre, just because the sorghum Sudan grass, and a lot of it they did not eat and trampled, but even when they trample it, it regrows, it builds soil life, it does a world of a lot of good for the soil. Um, Jay's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's a movie, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They're wandering around in the yard, and uh, yeah, that's a funny movie. That may be worth watching sometime soon. Any other questions or comments before we sign off?
No. Okay.
If you're interested in some of our other, oh, this one's blooming. It's starting to it's starting to bolt already.
Oh my goodness.
It's interesting. But if you're interested in seeing more of our other stuff, we raise. Oh, look at the bluebird. The bluebird just went into that tree there. Um, I did this on a part of the farm down yonder, but now that we've got cover crops and I'll grow in here so much, I really need to put up a bunch of bluebird boxes. They're 10, 15, maybe $20 each. I don't remember. But they usually recommend them putting them every 100 feet or so on wood posts. And as you can see, we've got posts all over the place. We could probably put 25 or 30 of them out here. Um, but bluebirds tend to do really well. Um, one of those things we probably got to purchase to get some, I guess. But anyway,
mosquitoes here.
Well, thanks for joining us, Mary. I appreciate it. Um, it's a beautiful, cool afternoon. I wish everybody could just feel how cool it is right now.
You can feel the bugs hitting your face.
Yeah, Charlotte's complaining because she's got mosquitoes all over. It's just because you're too sweet, baby. Um, Kay Will, I really appreciate the knowledge you give on these videos. Thanks for the feedback, Kay Will. I appreciate it. I'm glad to know people are actually watching them. Sometimes it's hard to separate just the numbers. You may see a video gets 50 views or 500 views, or occasionally we'll have one that gets several thousand views, and
in one day.
Kind of hard to put faces and people with those. So thanks for the feedback there. Um, where are you, Mary, again? Were you in Texas or Florida?
Texas.
I don't even remember.
Texas.
Texas, yeah. See, the funny thing is, we're real dry. We're real dry right now. Usually, this time of the year, right over there on the other side of Woolie's truck, there, you can't even drive. I buried the tractor. Gosh, 3 years ago. I mean, I had it sitting on the frame in June. It was so wet. And right now, though it's so dry, you can go anywhere. But anyway.
Not anywhere.
All right. Well, I've run off at the mouth now for 32 minutes and 10 seconds, and I have a I have a tendency to get long-winded. It shows in the videos sometimes, but even then, I still cut a lot of this foolishness out. But that's a green truck, Chloe, not blue. So that's a blue shirt that Woolie's got on, though. Anyway, I do hope y'all have a great day. Thanks for stopping by the farm, and we will pick you up next time. Y'all take care. Have a great day. This is Rob and Woolie. He's too far for the mic to pick up. Telling everybody hello. Y'all take care. Have a great day, and we will see you again soon.